this is Coach Jason at Art of War MMA and Fitness. So I just recorded a video on foam rolling and static stretching, which definitely I think those are great things to do before you get started with your actual workout. If you don't have time, sometimes all you have time for is a quick warm-up and then moving into your workout, whatever that may be. So I'm going to show you 5 movements that I like to do on the floor, and then 5 movements that would be standing or crawling. Basically, we're progressing from slower movements to faster movements, and then by the end of this, then you're ready to do whatever workout you're going to do, whether that be sprints, agility, martial arts, strength training, whatever you have planned. So let's just start with on our back here with floor slides. And because so many Americans have desk jobs and their postures like this, floor slides are a great thing for most people because most people tend to be very tight here and chronically extended in the muscles on their back, right? These muscles almost get locked in this lengthened position, so you have really crappy posture, okay? And when we box in martial arts, it's the same thing. We're hunched over like this, right? So these floor slides are a great thing to help activate the muscles in your upper back and to stretch out the muscles in your chest, which tend to contribute to bad posture. So first movement is floor slides. I'm going to put my feet flat on the ground. I'm going to have my back flat on the ground. I'm going to attempt to keep the back of my arms flat on the ground. Many of you starting, this could be as far as you could get right here. That's fine. Start where you're at. Don't feel that you have to do this exactly the way that I'm doing it, but this is just something to shoot for. I'm going to keep my head in neutral position. I'm going to breathe in, and then I'm going to nice full exhale. So typically I would do 5 to 10 of these. And again, it's not a contest, okay? A lot of times I see people trying to go down super far, and if they're very stiff, then, they're way up off the ground, okay? It could be the case that at the beginning, this might be your range of motion right here. As you get a little more flexibility and the ability to engage those upper back muscles, your external rotators, rhomboids, and so forth, you're gonna be able to really press the back of your hands into the mat. Okay, so we're just making a W, and then we're making a Y. From there, we're going to move into glute bridges, right? Because we're just basically helping activate our glutes, get our glutes ready to contribute to whatever exercise stuff we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to put my toes up. I'm going to push off through my heels. I'm going to hug the knee to my chest. I'll show you the double leg version. I'll just show you the single leg version first. So I'm going to just squeeze my glute, elevate my hips. Okay, and again, I'm going to do like 5 to 10 of these on each side typically. Okay. And you can see the purpose of me hugging my knee is making it a little harder because I'm only using one leg to generate power here. But the other thing is it's keeping me from cheating by hyperextending my lower back, right? We're not trying to hyperextend our lower back. We're trying to keep our lumbar spine in that neutral position. We're really trying to use our glutes here, right? So then I would switch legs and I would raise it up. And you can notice here I've got about a 90-degree bend in my leg that's down. Okay, so I don't want to be way out here like this. And I don't need to be all the way jammed in. It's just about like so. Okay. So again, I'll just exhale, inhale. Okay. If you want to do the double leg version, you just have to make sure that you're tightening your abs every time. So every time I would exhale, I'm going to tighten my abs first. And then I'm going to squeeze my glutes, okay? So that's helping me basically avoid hyperextending my lower back. So either of those variations on glute bridges are fine. Pick one or the other. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a great core movement, okay? And this is called quarter get-ups. Typically if you're doing this as part of your strength training routine, you'd be holding a kettlebell up here in your hand, but these are a great warm-up as well. I'm going to put my leg and my arm out at 90 degrees. My arm is straight. I'm looking up at my fist. I'm just going to come up to my elbow, and I'm going to open my chest, and then slowly go back down, okay? And again, typically 5 to 10 of these on each side is going to be sufficient. For some of you, this warm-up, if you're not in shape and if you've been pretty sedentary, this warm-up series could be your actual workout, and that's fine, start where you're at. But this is also a great warm-up to, just get your core ready for other stuff that you've got planned after this. Okay, coming up to the elbow, opening the chest. And if I was holding an object, it would be really important for me, of course, to keep that arm locked out and keep that wrist straight. But again, this is just part of our warm-ups, okay? So I've done my floor slides, I've done my glute bridges, activated my core. Okay, now I'm gonna warm up my neck, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just lift my head an inch off the mat, and notice I'm not arching my neck here. My neck's in a neutral position. And now all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna rotate. Okay, trying to keep that, I don't have my head way up here. I'm just in this neutral cervical position. For many Americans, if you don't do anything to exercise your neck, this could be very fatiguing. But a lot of people have a lot of weakness in their deep neck flexors here. Just gonna help get my neck warmed up, and again, I might go back and forth 5 to 10 times. I'll leave that up to you. So another one that I like for after I'm on my back, I've done all my supine warm-ups here. I'm gonna flip over, engage into my plank position. I'm gonna squeeze my legs, and I'm gonna pull down with my elbows against the resistance of the mat here. And I'll hold this for 10 to 30 seconds. And just demonstrate some really easy bear crawls here. It's gonna go here like this. I'm just gonna bring this, right, elbow to knee. Boom. And if I have a limited space to work with, right, I can just go backwards as well. For some of you, this could be the workout. If you're already doing a lot of strength training or you're athletic, again, this is just gonna be a great warm-up. Okay. We're gonna move to a standing position. Okay. For some of you, the appropriate move will be to do some body weight squats, which I showed in a separate video on full body strength training. Right? For some of you, just pushing those knees out, doing 5 to 10 squats. Okay, and you can see when I'm doing that, it's like I'm sitting back in a chair. Okay. Now we're going to move to back step lunges. Again, this could be something you could do in place of squats if you're able to. If this bothers your knees, then you would just do the body weight squats. Okay, so I'm going to step back. My knee's almost touching the ground, and my front heel is going to stay on the ground. You can see there's a little bit of a shin angle there, right? So I'm not so far that heel comes off the ground, but I'm also not way back here. Okay, so basically your front shin's going to go approximately over to where it's even with your toes. Okay, and I'm keeping my body in a neutral position. My core's engaged, my head's looking forward. Okay, I'm going to do like 5 to 10 of these on each side. Okay. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do single leg reaches. I find it helpful to have like a wall or something to reach towards, particularly kind of on an unstable surface here on the mat. You may not need that though. You may be able to just reach out into space. Okay, I'm just going to demonstrate it, just reaching out and touching the mirror here. So I'm going to kick this leg back and reach. One leg kicks back. Whatever arm is reaching, I'm kicking that same leg back. Okay, and then there's just a little bit of a bend in my support leg, right? So my left leg is really the one working right now. My right leg is just kicking back so I can pendulum my upper body forward. Okay, and you should feel this in your hamstrings and your glutes. Okay, but it's also working on my ankle stability, working on my knee stability, engaging my glutes, right? So that single leg reach is a very good movement. Now we're gonna go leg swings. Get those adductors and abductors on the inner thigh and outer part of your hip loose. So now we're starting to pick up the velocity a little bit. I might do 5 or 10 swings on each side. You can also notice that I'm moving my ankle as I kick through as well. So my ankles are getting warmed up. Okay. And lastly, now we're going to get a little bit more of a dynamic movement. We're going to do some skips in place. Okay, so as I do these, if I had a little more room to work with, I would be doing skips across the mat. I would be doing lateral skips and so forth. All I'm doing right now is just alternating my knee lift and my arms, keeping my good posture. Okay. And I might do 10 to 20 on each side. Now we're adding a little bit of explosiveness, right? So now I'm preparing my body to actually move quickly. So after I get done with my warm-ups, if I was going to be doing a workout where I was trying to improve my agility, my speed, my power, I would do that first thing, right after I warmed up. And again, the reason is you want to do stuff for your speed and power and agility. You want to do that first in your workout while you're fresh. If I wasn't going to be working on that stuff, I might go from my warm-ups straight into my strength training. Or I might go from my warm-ups straight into my martial arts practice, okay, just depending on what you had planned. But those are some really easy warm-ups that you can do to basically prepare your body for whatever workout that you have planned.